always look at it is they're not really shows, they're people, and it might be called the Bonnie Hunt Show, but it's really about Bonnie as a person. So whenever you talk about a talk show, it always comes back to who is that personality you're building it around. And I think, I've been very, very lucky, in my career to work with some really genius level people, and I think Bonnie's, another one of them. Yeah, we've been courting Bonnie for 10 years, literally, annual dinners and all that kind of thing, saying, when you're ready, we want to do it. And I think, she still had the desire. She's a real storyteller, and she wanted to write and produce and direct, movies and TV shows, and she's done that. But at the end of the day, I think everything that she did along the way have really led her, prepared her for this time, and made her even better for it. And she also understood from having been, I think TV, Entertainment Weekly called her, the best talk show guest in America, and I think she knew from just preparing as a guest, what kind of commitment it would be to do it as a host, and she wanted to make sure that she was ready to make that kind of a full-time commitment. And she was, and we're thrilled. Change and a lot of channels available. People don't really know where to go, and I think talk shows, they're on 5 days a week. People know they're there. They build a relationship with the host, and it becomes sort of my friend in the daytime to go back and spend some time with, hear a little bit about what's going on, be entertained, learn something. And I think it's a reassuring kind of place for people to go. So I'm bullish on talk shows. I started out, and I can remember, from the time, even before I was in the business, I loved talk shows. I'd watch Mike Douglas in the afternoon. I'd try and stay up late at night when I could to see the Johnny Carson show. Then when I was in college, it was Tom Snyder and Tomorrow. My first job in the business, I was working at a television station, my second job actually in Jacksonville, Florida. We had just gotten Donahue when Phil Donahue first started, and I was just blown away by Phil Donahue. I went through that cycle, and then to see Oprah come on the air and do what she did. I've just always been a fan of the genre, and then as I got involved, I just love working with the people, because the people that are able to host talk shows, they're really smart, creative, fascinating people, and it's really a lot of fun to just work with someone and help them create a show that is truly an extension of who they are, and it's a fascinating process, and the people that you end up working with are always really interesting people. She's the best friend, the mother, whether it's, from Jerry Maguire as the sister or from the mom in Cheaper by the Dozen. And she's also known, as Bonnie Hunt, the real Bonnie, because she's been on all the other shows so many times, from hosting Letterman and hosting Regis and, being a guest star in Ellen and all the big shows. Over time, everybody also knows who she is as a person, and it's very consistent with her character. She's just this wonderful, salt-of-the-earth, Midwestern, girl next door quality that's just so genuine and real. And I think, that comes across, and she brings that spirit in the roles that she's been able to create on screen, but that's also her personification and who she is when she's a guest on other shows. And I think just people relate to her so much that she's just perfect for this venue.